Welcome to Mystic Spilling the Tea.
I'm Ashwani of Southern Fried Psychics.
I'm Leslie Hall, the Purple Rose Psychic.
I'm Nikel with Rising Digital.
And we are the Mystic Spilling the Tea. Today's topic is the calm through life's storms. We all have a lot of stuff that happens.
That's my version of thunder.
Yeah, I liked it.
Wouldn't it have been great if we had had one of those things that you hit and it goes,
Oh, the dog. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
yeah, the you know what I'm talking about.
Yep.
It's yeah.
Sure.
The aluminum thingy. The aluminum thingy. So, life storms. We all have life storms. We all have bumps in the road.
I tell you.
If you think someone doesn't have a bump in the road, then, and if they're telling you they don't, then they are fabricating.
Or they're probably just not willing to go within.
Not willing to go within, or, people do like to sometimes put on a persona of like, my life is grand. I call it painting your flower pot.
I call that your social media profile.
Right. Power.
Yeah.
What do you call it?
I call it painting your flower pot. Have you ever seen anyone who, like their flower pot, they talk about, how beautiful their life is, and they have a plant, but it has no roots.
Wow.
I know that's very philosophical. I can see you look at me like, what?
I like it. No, it's cool.
But it's called painting your flower pot. You color your flower pot so that the world thinks that you have a perfect little life, but the reality is sometimes your plant doesn't have roots that really are going to substantiate and make that plant survive.
Never heard that analogy, and I love it.
I know, me either. I love the visual.
Yeah.
Y'all like how I go off on the weirdest? That's how I see
good.
life.
Not in
Sometimes-
present company. You can't get too weird.
That's
Yeah,
true.
no.
So sometimes there's some bumps in the roads.
Yep.
How do you handle them?
How do you handle them?
It depends on the bump.
Yeah, totally.
It really does depend on the bump. Sometimes I give a good cry. I'm not going to lie. It is hard for
Shedding a layer.
It takes a lot to make me cry. I will say that.
I'm the opposite of that. I'm easy to cry.
But the funniest thing is I see someone else crying. Oh man,
Yeah, I'm in.
I'm
done.
in. I'm in.
Unless
all
I'm
done.
channeling.
Yeah,
I can hold the line if I'm channeling.
Man,
Wow.
yeah.
Most of the time.
Like even this morning, I was watching a documentary on. You remember Amber, the little girl who started the Amber Alert?
Hagerman, Amber Hagerman.
Yeah. And I was watching the documentary on that because it's interesting. They were going to do a documentary on welfare, on her family.
Oh.
And so her mother and her little brother had already been recording with a news outlet before she was kidnapped.
I'll
And
be
so what
darned.
really got the word out really quick with her was that when she was kidnapped, the mother called the news station and said, I need you here. And they came. So they put it on the air first. It was still an hour and a half. And so, it still took some time it wasn't like it is now that they can actually put it out on all of the radio stations to where they can actually intercept before, something happens. But I cried all through that documentary.
Oh, I believe it. Anything with children, that's a quick way to make me cry.
Yep,
Yeah.
same.
So life storms, sometimes I cry and sometimes I get mad. Sometimes I get mad at myself.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I get mad at other people. It's hard to understand, in my opinion. And that's where, this is my journey, and I'm trying to be more cognitive of the fact that, and here's the thing, was the obstacle or the storm my making? Because I had free will to choose and I chose incorrectly?
Yeah.
Or was the storm designed to give me an obstacle to grow from?
See, and
And
that's where
usually
it's
the
like
latter.
hard to see because when we say choose incorrectly, but is it incorrect though?
Right. I had that same thought.
I mean, that's one of the things is like, do you think it's, but here's the thing. We all do have free will.
Right.
Totally.
And so even with free will, the storm that's caused could be one that you shouldn't have had to be in. I feel like there are times that you create your own storm.
Yeah, it's called self-sabotage.
Yeah. So you do create your own storm. Is it what were you going to go down that path if you had stayed on the right path? No, not necessarily. So that's the reason why some of the storms I do believe we cause ourselves.
Yeah.
And some are designed by a roadmap, we'll say, of life and your journey that were designed to help you learn something. So a lot of times whenever I have something that comes up, I sit in it and sit with it and kind of analyze it. Is this something that would have happened? Was this because of a choice I made, or was this something that was designed to happen? Sitting in that and actually looking to see which one it is helps me in navigating it. The one thing I am 1000% sure of, no matter if it's the self-sabotaging or a designed obstacle, that my guides, my angels, even the divine I call God, all of that is still loving and caring for me and trying to help me. And so that's really part of where I rest in that, because we all have storms.
Totally.
And how you handle those storms are, it just depends. Some of the storms are like when my mother passed. That was a big storm for me.
Oh,
Yeah.
God, I know. When I lost my sister.
It's a huge storm when you lose someone.
Yeah.
How do you cope through that? It's very, very hard to navigate that. There are times that I will just sit down and just say, "I miss you, Mama."
Oh, yeah, I
Still
do that.
miss you.
I talk to my sister all the time.
Still, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever get over losing some people
You
or
don't.
losing things.
You don't.
It's hard.
Yeah.
And so those to me are storms.
Yeah.
But again, I have to believe that I will see my mother again. I have
You
to
will.
believe that the storms I'm not alone in navigating. And anyone who knows me, anytime there is an obstacle, I immediately also go into self-preservation mode of coming up with a plan of how to fix it.
Oh, that's your fire sign. That's awesome.
Yeah, and it's not just one avenue to fix it. I will go A, B, C, D, E, plan A, plan B, plan C, plan D, and if that doesn't work, I'll come up with an E. I mean, I'm just that way with everything that I do. Is like I plan, and it's like, okay, I can do this, and this can happen, this can happen. And so it gives me, I mean, the one thing I don't do is just sit there and feel sorry for myself.
Mm-hmm.
That
That's
isn't
not
going to
good
get
for
me
anybody.
anything.
No.
That's not going to get me through the storm. It's not going to get me. I can't sit there and feel sorry for myself. Losing my mother was hard, but other people have lost loved ones as well.
Yeah.
That have been hard for them. So I'm not in the boat alone.
Yeah.
So don't sit there and wallow. I don't. And that's one of the things that probably helps me, relying on my guides and everything, and truly doing a lot of self-reflection. You know, how did this happen? What happened? What caused it? Because a lot of things are life lessons, and I love those life lessons because I'm like, oh, I won't do that again.
Yeah.
Totally. They're growth opportunities.
They are.
Is what
I
a
mean,
lesson is.
You grow. So
Yeah.
how do you handle the storms? One of you ladies should speak up.
Go ahead.
Well, for me, like the old me versus the me now, like the old me was the quintessential moody Pisces. Like I would be in victim mode and I would be like poor pitiful me kind of thing. But the more and more and more I advanced my spirituality and my work around it, I became the empowered me. So now I took away the power of when you say the right path, wrong path, all this stuff. I take the power away from those two words and I said, here's 3 paths. The most ideal path for me is I'm going to go forward on this one, or I'm going to go to the left, or I'm going to go to the right, you know, kind of thing. Because when we get stuck in that cycle of, oh, that was a wrong decision. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. Oh, we're shoulda, coulda, woulda in ourselves, which is just a toxic cycle inside that brain. So I've worked really hard to reprogram it going, oh, I could have made a better decision on that one.
That is
Yeah.
one of the things I think whenever I see people who are constantly having trouble after trouble after
Yes.
trouble, it's like
Yes.
they, again, like I said, it's that roundabout.
Perpetual cycle.
This is a perpetual cycle because instead of thinking, how did I get here? How can I not do it again?
Right.
Or they just take the pity party and they don't resolve anything. So they just keep going around in that circle.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I did because that's what I learned from my family. You know, that was all my programming, you know, for generations.
The pity party?
Yeah, totally. Or
Ooh.
like oh, it's happening to me.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Everything
you know.
always happens to me.
And it always annoyed me. I never liked that initial reaction in me. And so when I started taking like personal and professional training and development courses that forces you out of your past so you can put that actually in the past, it transformed not only the way I was being, but the way I was thinking. And so it's like, you know, take 21 days to have a new habit, that sort of thing. It was retraining my brain. So my first go-to was not, oh my God, it's happening to me. No, now, you know, that was something that happened for me.
Yeah.
I made that decision. So I take accountability. I take responsibility. And I know better in the future that I'll make an even better decision based on what I went through in this experience.
Yeah. My mother was strong like that. And she was one who wouldn't sit in self-pity, would rise and try to find ways to fix it. And so I
That's
feel like
wonderful.
that was one of the things that she taught me. I was actually thinking the other day, because of all the potential layoffs and everything. Here's my mom who she was the steady Freddy of the income in our family. My dad built pools, so it was whenever a pool was built, he had money. And so my mother was the steady Freddy income. And I can't imagine how she felt sometimes when she was about to be laid off, because at Bell Helicopter, you knew what number you were in the layoff because it was all
Wow.
unionized. You knew what number you were in the layoff. And so she would always, you know, she was always planning ahead for that and had a plan so that when she got laid off, she was going to go work here, and she went and worked there. And then when she was being called back, when she wasn't working at Bell Helicopter, she was working for an attorney, you know, typing and doing stuff for them. So it was, you know, she was constantly doing things and looking forward, and she just didn't waller. So that's the reason why I feel like that's probably something she instilled in me, that things didn't happen to us. They just happened. And, you know, it wasn't like the universe was out to get me or anyone else.
What's your technique? How do you
Yeah.
move through the murky waters?
The murky waters. Sorry, you guys always get me right when I'm thinking about what you're saying. I'm like, yeah, I
We're good
agree
like
with
that.
that. We're in it.
I'm thinking of like you've had some challenges.
Yeah, no, I have. I just have so many different ways I was going to go with it. So with challenges, I think probably the biggest thing that has helped me has been to like, yes, look at my part, which is what I learned in recovery. You know, because I always thought it was really funny. Like in 12-step recovery, the 4th step is where you write down all of your resentments in life ever. Institutions, people, things, just everything you can think of. And so it's very intimidating. People put it off forever. But when you do it, you're like, oh, this is great. You're just getting it out. You're getting it out. The 5th step, you're reading that out loud to your sponsor and finding your part. And that is where it's kind of like, hey, I gotcha. But at the same time, you know, because everyone's like, cool, I'm resentful about all this stuff. But it's like,
what part was yours?
Yeah, what was your part? And then, but it was freeing at the same time because you can take that accountability, you know, and say like, okay, I know that I was making some different decisions back then because I didn't know what I know now, you know, and I, that was the best I could do with what I had at the time.
Yeah.
You know, if I'm being real with what was going on.
Sometimes some of those decisions that you make that are bad decisions, the reason why they repeat is because it is a cycle.
Yes.
And it has nothing to do with not looking at it as much as it has to do with you're in a cycle, and it's just one of those things. And stopping that cycle is really a challenge.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
And
sometimes you can't stop it because you
sometimes
can't
you can't.
control anything.
Mm-hmm.
But you can choose different, or you can learn from it, or you can. The best thing really is, did you self evaluate? Are you a better person than you were 5 minutes ago?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's your job, not to make yourself wrong about it, just to be said, oh, I see what I did there.
Yes.
Yes.
That's it. Just make it where you're taking that power away that takes over your power,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
and it doesn't consume you.
Yes.
Because I think that's what a lot of people do. Like, they are so hard on themselves, especially working with clients. Oh my God, probably every woman I ever sit down with, she is so hard on herself, because the majority of what I do is female empowerment. So I'll get men occasionally, or couples. I love when I get the couple readings. But it's like, I see that within every woman is she's made herself wrong about every little or big thing.
Mm.
And she's holding that over her own head. Or she's like, if my mom saw me now, or I'm like, well, if they're in the spirit world, they do see you now.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you right now, they're actually proud of you,
Mm.
because you're putting one foot in front of the other. You're getting up every day. Sometimes it's just the simplest things.
Yeah.
And
You know?
that's one of the things that I think people really don't understand is when you are in a storm, just getting up, if that is the
Yep.
only thing you did that day, and that was a step in the right direction.
We celebrate you. Getting
and
up.
and a lot of self-sabotaging has to do with addiction, because my sister was a drug addict.
Mhm.
And it's interesting how that perspective of things happened to me, not because of me,
Mhm.
was really started there. I feel like once she went into that rabbit hole. But and I know no one comes into this world wanting to be an addict or
for
have
sure.
an addiction. And so the understanding with my sister and everything is, and I have nieces that are still addicted, and they've gone through some recoveries, and they still aren't rehabilitated yet. And but they need to realize that storm, taking one step forward, sometimes that's all you can do, and that's a good step.
Yeah.
And I'm proud of you for taking a step forward. It's important to give yourself credit and start taking steps forward. And I think that's the biggest thing whenever I'm in a storm is, again, not sitting, but taking steps forward. Because once you sit, I think it does take you down a rabbit hole of depression.
Yeah.
It can take you down a rabbit hole of anxiety. It can just really take you down the wrong rabbit hole when you sit with that. So moving forward, to me, is one of my biggest things, and what I try to help other people do is just take one step.
Yeah.
And
It's
be
just one step.
aware of your thoughts. I think that's a thing that a lot of people miss is just like, why am I doing this? Why did that upset me just now? The way that this person said that, and sitting with it instead of just like, she said that, that's annoying. I don't like it. I'm mad. Right. End.
Yeah.
Instead of that, what was it about that particular situation? Oh, okay. She said this particular way that made me feel like she thinks this is less important than whatever, and is that true?
You don't know what she's thinking.
But
Right.
but walking through it of
Yeah.
like, is this true?
Yeah, and that's what you have to do is this true? And the one thing that we all have to remember is that you can't control other people,
No.
their actions,
No outcomes.
how they take things.
No.
I've had friends that have come back and said, "I can't believe you said that to me." And I'm like, "I texted you. I didn't say that to you." And it was how you read it. But I'm the one that's the bad guy because I texted you something. but you read it wrong.
Well,
And that's
and
not me.
Interpretation.
And texting is not true communication.
Yeah.
It is not true
You're
communication.
simply sharing some information. It's not authentic communication because you can't read tone. You can't read the context. You can't, there's nothing in there except words on a screen.
Yep.
And how you read
Period.
it is how you interpret it.
Exactly.
It's not
That's your
mean
brain.
That it's not. Does not mean that that is how that person said it.
And I take responsibility to do that. So that's one of the keys when you were talking a second ago about acknowledging. Yeah, acknowledge in that moment of, this is clearly a trigger of some sort.
What
you know,
is it?
and sometimes it's easier said than done in that moment.
Sure.
So, but you can always go back and clean it up. So let's say you're
Yeah.
talking to me and I reacted really poorly. I could easily come back and go, Nikel, I don't know why that was a trigger for me, but for some reason it was. And I hope it didn't leave you in any certain way. And if it did, I'll be more mindful next time without
Yeah.
saying, oh, I'm so sorry, because what's an apology
Exactly.
if it's what are you going to do different, or what are you
Right.
going to, how are you going to handle that next time, you know, kind of thing. So because I would never want our exchange to always be I'm reacting poorly because you're saying something that's triggering me.
Right.
That's me over here.
Yeah,
It has
yeah.
nothing to do with you. Why would I put that in your space?
Right.
But in that moment, sometimes it's really hard. So just know, if you're listening, if that happens, just go back and clean it up with your friends, people that actually mean something to you. Or even if it was a stranger, say it out loud and let that energy be carried to them, because that's true self-evaluation, is taking that accountability. And then what do you want to do about it?
Yes.
Like, is there a different action? Is there a cute note you want to send? Is there, you know, instead of a text, how about call them?
Mhm.
I've been calling people. I got that toward the end of this year. Instead of texting people, I've been calling people.
Yeah, it's easier. And people do say the most outlandish and weirdest things in a text that you're just. I mean, they do, because they don't. There's no. It's. I guarantee you, if you ask people, there are people who would say, "Yeah, might send something a little more harsh in a text than I would ever say to someone's face." Which is not a good thing. Like, if you know, again, that's kind of a weirdness, but it's because there's no face to the text
Right.
when you're doing it. And you also don't see how the person is taking it. Because if you're talking to someone and you see all of a sudden you're upsetting them, then you start going, oh, there's something wrong here, my tone, my something. But, you know, that's, you know, so it's hard, I think.
And you don't have the information of how is their day going? How's your day been? There's so many other outside factors that if you're not on the phone in an actual conversation of communication, you don't know all the outside factors.
Right. And you can always, you know, ask, did you mean it this way?
Totally.
And,
Yeah.
and just clarify it, or say,
That's a healthy way.
yeah, or did say, did you, this is what I just heard you say. And then when you say it back, they might go, oh, that sounded really bad, didn't it? I didn't mean it that way.
I have to do that often because my Pisces communication is completely different. And I'll state that obvious all the time. I'm like, I have to ask for clarity because in my head, I'm on a different page most of the time. So is this what you meant? Or it gives them an opportunity to provide me a little extra clarity that I said I needed.
Right.
I didn't make her wrong about it, or him, or whoever's, you know, sending a text or communicating with me. It was just, I need that open dialogue, just a tidbit more clarity.
And as a fire sign, I have to say, I can jump. Like, you can, like, you know, I can jump if I have to. I don't sit still to be, you know, it's just my nature. If you come at me, then I might come back. And I bite hard, unfortunately. I know that. But I don't mean to come off that way. But if it comes off, it's because, you know, there's something that you did, or, you know, that upset me. And so I was showing Dina my fire sign yesterday,
Were you?
Monday.
Oh,
It was
see, I don't even remember.
it was for you, not to you.
For me.
Yeah, you had gone to the dealership, made an appointment.
Yes, it was great.
Listen to this. She made an appointment to go to the dealership to take her car in, so they would have a car for her to drive.
They made me wait because I was going to go in on Friday. And Friday said, well, we have an appointment, but I don't have any loaner cars. It's better if you wait till Monday. I'll have cars. Okay, great. And if we don't, we have a shuttle. We can take you back and forth. Second option. Okay, great. So take it in on a Monday. Oh, well, I'm sorry, Miss Gilmore. We don't have a loaner car for you. We're still out of cars. Oh, okay. Well, you said a shuttle. Oh, well, I'm sorry. I don't have anybody to shuttle. That's not an option either. Okay, so what's my option? I had to drive my own car back to the house with the valet in the back seat for the valet to go drive it back to the dealership with my check engine light on, mind you.
And I said, Dina, they have a car lot full of cars. That's BS.
Yeah.
You should have told them, look, you have a car lot full of cars. I guess you're going to have your valet take a test drive.
And it's a 15-minute drive. It's not like I live out in the country somewhere. It's not like, I'm asking you to drive me to Fort Worth. Right. I mean, no.
But that was my fire sign going, oh, no, you have a lot full of cars. You go get one, and I guess your valet will be test driving.
This is why I say every water sign needs a fire sign in their life.
Yeah.
Because I just kind of went with the flow, and I didn't think about it because I was like, okay, well, I guess, but I also don't like confrontation.
Yeah.
And I could tell immediately when I got there, he was giving me fake niceness.
Aww.
I don't do fake.
Yeah.
You can either be real with me or just stay over there.
Yeah.
I need your authenticity. I need you to show up as you because I'm showing up as me.
Yeah.
And if they're not, they'd call me out on it. I've had friends that'll do that. But yeah, it was the stupidest situation of the outcome. And then everything was supposed to be taken care of on Monday. Monday led to Tuesday. Tuesday led to Wednesday. And then they had no way to come pick me up. Well, how am I supposed to get back to you? So they delivered my car like days later. So finally got it yesterday, but I knew my intuition was like, if you don't stay on them to get your car back, they're going to have it into the new year just for a freaking auxiliary battery.
Wow.
That's it.
Yeah, it was.
It's not rocket science.
It was a lot of
back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
It was a lot of back and forth, but so, I do realize that sometimes my fire sign is a hindrance.
No, it was great for me because it actually made me take more and better action. I didn't just sit there and be like, well, I guess they'll call me when, And at the end of the day, we're like, well, we didn't even get to your car today. Then why the heck did you make me make an appointment on a Monday? Because you promised me a car, then you promised me shuttle. Then you don't even look at the car on the day you make me make an appointment. It was the worst service ever.
It was really bad, but that's just another little storm that you navigated through.
I did.
You did it in you probably did it better than I would have done. Because like I said, I would have been like, either I'm test driving a car until you get my car fixed, or your valet is test driving a car and taking me home. And by the way, whenever it's time to come pick up my car, you'll be coming and getting me.
And that's where I disagree. I wouldn't say I handled it better because if that was better, if I would have handled it the way you handled it, I would have had a car and I would have been less stressed out. I had to cancel things. I had readings planned. I was going to be at one of the stores that we read at. I had canceled that because the stress was so much. I was like literally back and forth all day, every day. It was just like, something's got to give. And I didn't want to cancel again for something else and look unprofessional. I'd already done that the past 2 days. So I didn't want to do it again, look unprofessional. So the best thing for me was just to cancel some things in my day because I didn't trust they were going to deliver my car on time. And they still didn't. They still didn't deliver what they promised, but at least I got it back yesterday, which was the main goal I wanted to achieve.
But there are two ways to handle storms then.
Totally.
There is the go with the flow. There's the trudge through it. But there's also the sit and stew in it.
That was not going to be me.
See, and there isn't, I think there's such a fine line, too, with sitting and stewing. Because, okay, if you decide to stay in it.
That's marinating in it.
Right. Different. But, but it's okay to feel it.
Totally.
You can be pissed off.
Yeah.
You can have,
You gotta
your
feel the heel.
moments.
You better
can have your
your
moment.
emotions.
Yes. You're
Yes.
human.
But don't, make it your day.
Yeah.
I
Don't
guess,
make it
take
your
it
day
on.
and don't make it everyone else's day.
Right.
I cannot tell you, I mean, as an empath, I don't know if it's just me, but I'm going to tell you, there are some people who have a bad day and they want to come and make
everyone
have the same bad day or experience with them their bad day.
Yep.
I don't necessarily want to do that.
No, and I didn't either. So I was really glad that you called to check in on me because it calmed me down and it gave me a fire in my belly that I didn't have before that they could have had my car until Friday. Well, no,
Goodness.
I got stuff I need to do.
Yeah.
So it really helped me because Leslie's really learned to navigate me and my personality to kind of give me that nudge when I need it.
Yeah.
Because I probably would have just they'd still have my car. I'd be
Mhm.
like, well, I guess if you can't come and get me, you don't have a shuttle and you don't have a loaner car. What are my options?
Yeah.
Kind of thing. So anyway, it was very helpful.
So
I appreciate it.
navigating storms is just another way of like dealing with life stresses.
Use your tools.
Use your
what you
tools.
have in your spiritual toolbox.
Mm-hmm. You do count on your friends.
Yep.
You count on your family. You count on yourself because yourself can give you those plans that can get you either out of it or around it or over it.
Mhm.
And so you use all those things to your advantage to get out of it.
And one of the best things that helped me in any of those storms is I teach students take a breath, take a beat, which means just stop for a second, then take an action toward the desired outcome you want. So it's take a breath, take a beat. Now what do you want to do?
Yeah. I like that. I always liked
It's
the
simple.
saying, just do the next right thing in front of you. That's what they'd say in recovery. Your job is just to do the next right thing.
Take that one step forward.
And you're
Yeah.
like, all right, I can do that. My next right thing is just like go into class or like, you know,
Yeah.
going to
Something-
pick up my kid. Like,
Yeah, like
That's-
Leslie said, sometimes it's just getting out of bed.
Yeah.
Bravo, applaud you for getting out of bed.
Yeah.
That's one step that you did for yourself today.
Mhm.
Tomorrow, take another step. See what
Yeah.
happens.
I like it.
Take your
It's,
supplements. Eat
Every time
better
you
food.
have a setback, there are some setbacks that are really, really tough. I'm not going
Yes.
to lie. There are some that are really tough.
Death is
And
probably one of the
again,
ones.
The tough ones are the ones that really shape your character, shape who you are, and you just have to navigate. And life is all about navigating, finding the path that you need to be on, and navigating through it.
Yeah.
We're going to have to wrap this up.
You don't
Unfortunately,
say.
ladies. I'm
Yeah.
so sorry.
That's a
Any
good one.
final thoughts? Ashwani.
I'm going to have to go back to take a breath, take a beat, and then, evaluate like what action you want to take, especially in the face of when you have death or dying, because, we've all lost somebody and that's really hard and you don't know how you're going to be in the midst of grief.
Mm-hmm.
So give yourself a lot of grace and have your support system. No matter what the storm is, have your support system.
I love that.
Yeah.
How about you?
I think don't abandon yourself. That's probably been like my biggest lesson over the last several years is, you can feel your feelings, you can move through it, but don't, give up on yourself for other people, if that makes sense.
That's
That
beautiful.
does make sense.
Yeah, what about you, Les?
So my final thought would be kind of a combination of all of y'all's, actually. It's life is full of dips in the roads, and there are some highs and there are some lows. So it's a matter of navigating. Have your support system, be true to yourself, and know what you need most, and take those actions for yourself and take that first step forward. And just navigate and know that you are never alone in your quest for getting through the storm.
Love it.
Well, that's a wrap, ladies. This is the
Mystic
Spilling the Tea.
I'm Ashwani with Southern Fried Psychics.
I'm Leslie Hall, the Purple Rose Psychic.
And I'm Nikel with Rising Digital.